It is time for some high-flying, up-tempo basketball here as ESPN3 presents its American Basketball Association Game of the Week here at Glendale Community College as the Arizona Scorpions play host to the Vancouver Ballaholics. Hi everybody, I'm Brad Steinke, thrilled to be joined by my friend and basketball guru partner Tom Kuiper, former ASU standout. Tom, you've seen the Scorpions play, you've seen some ABA basketball. What can we expect to see tonight?
Yeah, Brad, the big difference is the way they get the ball off the floor. It's going to be a really high-paced game. The other thing that you're not going to see is much defense. It's all about the offense.
You know, you talk about this league, and it really is about keeping that dream alive. A lot of these guys have still hopes of playing at a higher division.
That's the reason they're here. They're not here to make money. They're here to keep that dream, keep their foot in the door that hopefully somewhere down the road something's going to open.
Vancouver, a very young team. A lot of their players played last year in college. The Scorpions, a much more veteran team. Who do you favor tonight?
Well, you got to go with the Scorpions. You know, they've got that tradition. They've gone farther in the playoffs. So bring that experience, and I think you're going to see a big Scorpion win tonight.
Can't wait to watch ABA basketball here on ESPN3. Welcome back to Glendale Community College, typically home to the Gauchos, but tonight home to the ABA Game of the Week on ESPN, getting set for tip-off between the Vancouver Ballaholics, an expansion team with a record of 2-4 against the more established Arizona Scorpions, 13-2 on the season, and we are underway. Brad Steinke, Tom Kuiper. Starting lineups tonight for the Scorpions. Jesse Childs will run the point. Number 5, Alex Richmond, another guard. Number 6, Zach Andrews. Number 7, Corey Vernon. And number 55, who has the ball right now, that's John Hollywood Plenty. Scorpions control the loose ball. We'll talk a lot about the different stories of these players and also some of the unique rules of this revamped version of the ABA. Ball kicked out of bounds. Number 5, Alex Richmond, played his basketball at Purdue University in Calumet, but unique style. He's known as a three-point shooter, Tom.
There's a lot of unique things about him, Brad. Starting from the hair. Very unique style.
Drive inside by Vernon, denied, and here come the Ballaholics. Again, Tom talked about it off the top of the broadcast, looking to push the tempo.
Yeah, neither team wants to rely on their half-court offense. They're going to get the ball up and trying to get some easy, quick buckets.
Nice defense by the Scorpions, and they'll trigger the offense. That's Jesse Childs all the way, left-handed up and off the glass. We have our first points of the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm pressure upon. Bringing that ball up as quick as you can, get an easy bucket. Same thing right down there for the Ballaholics. Get it up quick.
Ballaholics working the offensive glass, but here come the Scorpions once again. Childs dishes off. Zach Andrews can't control. Zach Andrews, number 6, a unique story. He was the most valuable player of the NBA's D-League a couple years ago, had a short stint with the LA Lakers. He is a definite talent, but getting up there in years and trying to see if there's one more opportunity to make it up to the NBA in him.
And that's a good point, Brad. That's exactly what's going on here. These guys just want to stay in shape. They want to keep the ball going. They want to keep working on their shooting. All those parts of the game, they want to stay active.
Nice bucket by Mark Perrin as we're all knotted up here. Starting lineup for the Ballaholics: Brody Gregg, Dimitri Harris, Mike Berg, Mark Perrin, and Ryan Chinson. Possession goes to the Scorpions. Scorpions coached by Delmas Green, who played his basketball at Oregon Tech. And Vancouver is led by Wayne Best, who was born in London, played on the National Canadian Cricket team. So he brings a wealth of cricket and basketball experience. Andrews is short, and here come the Ballaholics. 4 12-minute quarters here tonight. The ABA Game of the Week. The basket up in and off the glass by Mike Berg, who is a very physical player and a guy that comes in averaging 16 points and 6 rebounds a game. Oh, the nice look inside ball batted away will remain in possession of the Scorpions. And Tom, getting back to this league, there are about 1,000 players, about 80 teams, 200 coaches. Again, a lot of guys just seeing if they still have it, see if they can make it to perhaps that next level.
Yeah, I love it. You know, there's not a lot of places for guys to play after college if they don't get picked up by some of the NBA teams or go overseas or in the D League. So you have nothing. So instead of sitting around and doing nothing, at least get out here and play. These guys love it, actually. You talk about that as well. Most of these guys are not getting paid. And if they're getting paid, it's not very much. So to support their love to play, they're finding jobs and doing everything they can to pay their bills just so they can keep playing, keep that hope alive.
I mean, this truly is grassroots basketball at its best. The passion still burns. The Ballaholics control the offensive glass. Both teams really just starting to feel each other out here. The drive, no foul on that. Follow-up missed by the big fella, Mike Berg. There's Richmond. No, there's a three-point specialist. Couldn't get that one to fall. 4-2 in favor of the Ballaholics. Nice drive there by Dimitri Harris. He's their leading scorer, over 22 points a game.
Yeah, when you watch him play, Brad, too, he's got a lot of spring in his legs. Really gets up high.
Bucket by Larry Smith, one of the co-captains, checking into the game. But you kind of talked about Larry Smith as a guy that he is a physical trainer in his real life and has trained a lot of players in the NBA and the NFL and mixed martial arts, but he still has the fire that burns, and so he plays for the Scorpions. Yeah, I would watch out for that guy. He's training MMA fighters.
Yeah, you know, when you talk to him, he's extremely passionate about fitness and getting in shape and helping others get in shape. It's kind of the fun when you talk to Larry Smith. He's so into what he does, and it's also what makes him into a good basketball player.
7:26 left in the first. Ballaholics lead by 2. Back in a bit.
It's hard to find an expert more dedicated than John Clayton. He's the consummate pro.
We'll see how the 4-3 and the cover 3 work together.
John Clayton with the lead.
Thanks, Dan. Take care.
Whenever we need a brilliant insight, he's available at the drop of a hat.
Hey, Mom! I'm done with my segment!
From the producers of 30 for 30, bite-sized sports documentaries where you want and when you want. New episodes available online at ESPN.com/30for30/shorts.
I'm a team player. I foster a positive work environment. I think I deserve a raise and 2 extra weeks vacation.
Are you ready for Mr. Piskowski?
How long's he been waiting?
About 45 minutes.
All right, send him in.
Mr. Piskowski,
Thanks.
you're welcome.
Hi, Mr.
Oh,
Gordon.
Steven, gotta take this call here. Give me a couple minutes.
Okay, I do still deserve a raise, but maybe vacation's just too much.
Welcome back to the ABA Game of the Week, and here you're seeing a little bit of that transition game, getting the ball up and down the floor. They don't like to use that half-court offense. They want to get up and down, get easier buckets.
So we are back to action. Into the lineup for the Ballaholics, number 24, Gabe Gibbs, and number 25, Stuart Wallenstein. Wallenstein, a new addition to this expansion franchise. Long jump shot off the mark for number 21, Larry Smith. And here come the Ballaholics. You know, Tom, as you might imagine, this is a league that gets by with bare bone budgets. There's not a lot of scouting. So when a team comes to town, you really don't know a lot about them.
Well, and what you do, you get on the phone, you talk to the other teams that have played them, and you do your scouting that way. A lot of the games are online. The internet's a big recruiting tool now and a big scouting tool, and so that's how most coaches do it. That's what they do when they watch game film.
Nice one-on-one confrontation right there as Brody Craig was backing down Alex Richmond. Rejected inside. Wallenstein gets the rebound and fires up the three.
Then the Scorpions got to find a better way to screen out. You can't continue to give a team second, third chance opportunities. There comes a steal by the Scorpions.
Jesse Childs all the way, the lefty off glass, and we're all tied up at 6 apiece. You can get the sense the Scorpions are starting to find their flow. There's the turnover. And, interesting, Tom, we talked about some different rule tweaks in the ABA, and one of those is that 3D rule, where if the offensive team loses possession in backcourt, it's a bonus for the defensive side.
Yeah, it's really kind of a fun rule, and it helps get more points on the scoreboard. But if you lose the ball in the backcourt, and the offensive team that just picks it up and scores a basket, you get one additional point. So if you hit a 2 or a layup, you get 3 points. If you hit from behind the arc, you'll get 4 points. And one other rule with that, Brad, if you get fouled, you get 1 extra free throw. So you can pile up a lot of points in just 1 shot.
And it really encourages teams to be aggressive with a full court or a trapping defense to rack up some points in a hurry.
Yeah, anytime you can pick the ball up in the backcourt, it's going to be a big advantage for you. And you'll see the light on the scores table. The players will know it too. Once there's a steal in the backcourt, that red light will come on, indicating that you're in the 3D position.
And another rule that I think we'll talk about throughout the night, only 7 seconds to get it out of the backcourt into your offensive zone. So it really puts the pressure on teams to get their offense going in a hurry.
Yeah, you don't see that rule called very often. 7 seconds is a long time to get a pass. In comparison, high school and college, it's 10 seconds to get across. In the NBA, it's 8. Here we got 7.
Childs takes it all the way. It's fouled, so he'll go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. And you will see that all night from Childs, who, by the way, is the son of Chris Childs, a former NBA player who played with the Nets and Knicks and Raptors through the years. But he's an aggressive guy running the point for the Scorpions.
Yeah, he's a key component to that offense, too. You'll see him get his hands on the ball all the time. He's the one that's bringing it up the floor. And there you see him there. Coming in hard. Every time you can find a gap, these guys are going to shoot through it.
Childs missed them both. He averages 10 points a game for the Scorpions. Oh, the nice lob, but Wallenstein can't convert, and Childs controls for the Scorpions. Into the game, number 9 is David Ubadibo. Pump fake, tough shot off balance, but they bail him out, and he'll go to the free throw line as well. So far, just a lot of freelance offense. Guys relying really on their talent, their athleticism to get some buckets.
Yeah, that's essentially their offense. Move the ball, pass, screen away, continuity. Just keep moving. Pass and screen, pass and screen, pass, move away, set some picks, set some on-ball picks.
Free throw shooting has been a problem spot this season for the Scorpions. And again, this is an established franchise. They have won 3 straight Western Conference championships. They went to the Final Four last year. There are 4 different conferences in the American Basketball Association. And I think the thing that is most unique about this league, you look at Vancouver, they've played only 6 games so far, 15 for the Scorpions. So you look up and down the standings, and there are teams that have a lot of experience under their belt. There are teams playing their 3rd, 4th games of the season. So that's just a little component of this league.
Yeah, some other interesting components. Some teams don't play home games. Some teams will only play as a traveling team. So that's another little interesting piece
Gabe Gibbs with the bucket to give the Ballaholics a 1-point lead. Yeah, the home team sort of pays for the food and lodging of the visiting team. So.
Yeah, when you play host, that's exactly what you do.
But see, that's a double-edged sword there. You know, you don't want your team eating, the team that you're playing, eating well and sleeping well. You want to put them coming in hungry.
Find some bad mattresses somewhere.
Into the lineup for the Ballaholics, Osman Alol. He is from Somalia, played on the Somalian national team. You just have a lot of unique stories. A lot of these guys have played all over the world. Spain, Italy, Japan. Just trying to find their niche. Uba Debo now. The Scorpions. Trey Hardwick into the game, and he knocks down his first bucket. He averages 10 points for this team. He's a big fella and can provide some offense in a hurry off the bench.
Yeah, that was a nice stroke from about 15, 20 feet out. And right underneath there, he gets a block. So he comes in, makes an immediate impact.
He's in his 4th year in the league out of Cal State Bakersfield. We're going to take a quick time out here as the Scorpions have come back. They lead by 1. 3:51 left in this first quarter.
Do you like to play? It's all at your fingertips. Enjoy a UVerse Games free preview and get unlimited access to these interactive games and more right on your TV. Just use your standard remote control to start playing. As a UVerse Games member, you can play an array of games like Solitaire, Blackjack, and more. Enjoy a free preview. Find UVerse Games on Channel 93 or press the Go Interactive button on your remote to get started. Discover UVerse Games and play all your favorites.
What happens when the 2015 Silverado HD goes head-to-head with the competition? In situations that matter most, in the real world, where you can see for yourself. Witness a real-world test of HD truck capability and compare what really matters to truck buyers firsthand.
That's amazing.
Watch Silverado go head-to-head. Visit Chevy.com/HD test to see more.
Hey man, you really think I had a chance to win this thing or what?
Dude, you invented 3 catchphrases. Get some toast because here comes the jam. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, the ABA is doing its part to get the bullies are cowards message to the youth of America. With a strong emphasis on helping the community, ABA teams nationwide are using their experiences and doing what they can to show that whether it is physical or cyberbullying, it is not acceptable to pick on others. The ABA is against bullying, and they love to get in front of kids to share that message. For more info on the ABA, visit abalive.com. And we are back in play here at Glendale Community College. Jesse Childs leading the attack against the Vancouver Ballaholics. Nice motion offense for the Scorpions.
And you can see a lot of continuity. Just keep passing and moving. Passing and screening away from the ball.
Debo's shot off the mark, and Ballaholics now in control. Brody Gregg, number 6, was an amazing college player last year. In fact, he was the Canadian College Player of the Year. He was the MVP of their national tournament. And he was one of the first signees of the expansion Ballaholics. So Debo drives, great athletic move, and he gets it to go. The Scorpions now with a 3-point cushion as their offense starting to heat up just a little bit, a little 3-quarter court zone trapping defense. Ball batted away, and the Scorpions tried to save it, but Debo had his foot on the line, and It's Vancouver's basketball.
Okay.
Mark Perrin with the ball on the right side. Followed by Berg is off the mark. Scorpions doing a nice job of getting to work on the defensive glass.
So here you're going to see some on-ball screens and just trying to open up. So that's exactly what you're looking for right there. Use that on-ball screen. Let the penetration happen. Once the defense comes over, kick it back out. That was picture perfect right there. They just couldn't get to go in.
Yeah, Vernon had a nice look, good stroke, but it rattled in and out. Corey Vernon looked like he got popped in the nose. Got a little cotton in that right nostril. Tough pull-up jump shot way off the mark by Larry Smith. But he comes back and atones for that as he gets the steal and the bucket.
You know, you may be wondering, would that be worth 3? He just stole it on the other side of the half-court mark, so that just is going to be 2.
Getting close to a minute left to go in the first quarter, and a 5-point lead for the hometown Scorpions, and some mass substitutions as Alex Richmond and Zach Andrews check back into the game. And here's a look at the nice drive all the way up and in. So you get the sense that early on Arizona struggling to find its offensive flow. They're back in it right now.
Yeah, and I think what set the tone for their offensive flow was what they're doing on the defensive end, picking up some quick turnovers and forcing some steals and kind of changing the momentum and the energy.
Berg pulls up and knocks down the jump shot. Slices the lead to 13. Less than 45 seconds to go here in the first. Once again, an open look for Vernon, this time back of the rim, but the rebound pulled down by Ricardo Barbosa, who is the nephew of the Brazilian blur Leandro Barbosa, who had such a great run here in Phoenix. Ricardo has a similar skill set. He is lightning quick. Ball was kicked, and it remains in possession of the Scorpions. 16.5 left to go here in the first. Richmond will trigger. Richmond pulls up way off the mark. Nice work on the offensive glass by Corey Vernon. And he's knocked to the ground. And so the first quarter will end with the Scorpions leading by 5. And so far, really, Corey Vernon has done a nice job coming to this game and giving a little energy boost. We're back here on ESPN's coverage of the APA Game of the Week. In just a bit, Scorpions lead by 5.
Morning, John. Ricky? Man, I've been sleepy lately. How come the decaf then? This isn't decaf. Dude, are you colorblind? No.
I would describe the toilet as evocative.
Maybe we stole the jersey.
Mr. Matt, we have snipers.
So everybody's going to have their new security card in their mailbox on Friday. Every
Under the locks.
Who's your NBA MVP? Let's talk it out.
My man!
I might go with Harden. He's still a high volume shooter.
He's a facilitating scorer.
on ESPN. And keep an eye out for the ABA National Championship Series to be held in Shreveport from April 14th to the 19th. It is shaping up to be a great final series, so don't miss out. Tickets are available and it will be broadcast right here. Back to action, and really that first quarter was unique in the sense that we expected a lot of scoring, a lot of up-tempo, but both these teams really struggling to get in the flow of the offense.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Brad. They were kind of testing each other on the offensive end and kind of reading it. And until just in the last 4 or 5 minutes, the Scorpions start going into their tight defense and pressure, as you see right now, trying to get the ball turnovered and bring it up the court.
Long shot in the corner off the mark by Dimitri Harris. With the Ballaholics.
This could count for an extra point right here, and bingo! 3D, so that was a 2-point basket. They pick up an extra one, 3 points.
That was an Eaton Brach of East Indian descent, as he is known as their big 3-point shooter. A guy that was a prolific scorer in Canadian high school basketball, close to 30 points a game. You get an off-the-ball foul on Ricardo Barbosa. So that's the thing, we talk about some of these rules. Games can change very, very quickly.
Well, just imagine if you steal the ball in the back court, pull up from a 3, that's a 4-point play. And if you get to the line, by the way, you get an extra free throw. So you can actually make that 4-point play into 6 points by hitting 2 free throws.
Long shot right there by Brach, off the mark. Kept alive, though, and the Ballaholics retained possession. Looks like a foul going to be called on Corey Vernon, who has been very active so far for the Scorpions team. There's Mike Berg, who we talked about, a big physical presence, a guy that also plays a lot of rugby. In fact, he was on one of the Canadian junior rugby teams, bucket by Bry Jensen. The only player on the Ballaholics not from Canada, grew up in Portland, Oregon.
And that was a nice move in the paint. Kind of moved left, moved right, turned around, hit a nice turnaround jumper.
Foul called on Dimitri Harris. Banging pretty good right now. The refs starting to take a little more control of this game.
Well, the Ballaholics coming out strong to start the second quarter on a 5-0 run to knock things up at 15 apiece.
There's a turnover, and here come the Ballaholics. Brody Gregg. There's Berg in the corner. Thought about shooting, but a nice job of defense by Dre Hardwick, and Scorpions control. There's the long ball by Richmond. Can't find the mark. Rebound pulled down by Brach, and Vancouver in transition. Great job of closing defense by the Scorpions, including big number 6, Zach Andrews.
And that was perfect timing. He got way up in the air.
We'll keep it here as there is a timeout on the court. Keep up with what's happening in the ABA by visiting, liking, and following us at abalive.com or Facebook at ABA Pro Basketball, Twitter at ABA Pro Ball. You know, talking about Zach Andrews, we mentioned MVP of the D-League, which is pretty serious stuff. That is a very competitive league, but did you know that he is also been the stand-in of the body double for LeBron James in some of his Nike commercials? So, guy's multifaceted.
Yeah, you know, when you have that kind of stigma with you too, I think that's just going to help you play, doesn't it?
I think so.
If you think that you're the stand-in, you're going to also kind of...
And anyone tells you you've got a body like LeBron James, that's a good thing. You don't want to be a stand-in for Pee Wee Herman. Probably LeBron James would be a better second career. We are all knotted up at 15 apiece here in our ABA Game of the Week on ESPN. Both coaches, Wayne Best and Delmas Green, trying to get their troops to get things going here and see if they can crank up some offense. There's a long shot by Brace, just off the mark. They are not shy about pulling the trigger on the three, though. Childs all the way, lefty off the glass, goes down hard. And a big follow by John Hollywood Plenty. But Childs will go to the line and hopefully can convert, unlike last trip to the charity stripe.
Yeah, the Scorpions have not scored yet. You know, they also had a slow start in the first quarter, doing the same thing in the second quarter. And I think what they need to talk about is picking the pace up on defense, because what they do on defense seems to energize what they do on the offensive end.
Don't you usually find that's the case? When you're playing great defense, you're not worried about your stroke, you're not worried about offensive woes. It just seems like one leads to the other.
Yeah, you just get your body going. You kind of get into that flow, and then what happens too, if you're playing good defense, you oftentimes will pick the ball off, you'll get a steal and come down and get an easy bucket. And easy buckets in your mind translate. If you got a nice steal, that's what I'm talking about. Now we'll see if the Scorpions can capitalize on that and keep playing with that kind of energy. That's what fueled them in the first quarter. There's a look at that steal. Nice, easy breakaway, easy bucket.
Just a blur of hair, taking it down to the bucket. Alex Richmond does a nice job, does some coaching with Special Olympics here in the Valley. And I think that's really a theme you'll find a lot in the ABA, because this is not their full-time job. A lot of these guys do a lot in the community. They work with youth leagues. I know you had some of your youth teams playing here earlier, and you're excited to announce something soon about teaming up with the Scorpions and having those junior teams.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in a second, Brad. But right now, what you're looking at, if you look at the score table, you see the light flashing round and round. That means we're in a 3D situation. So any basket here, you'll add 1 point to. So let's see if the Scorpions can capitalize on this situation. It'll only happen this possession.
Now you go right for a three, looking for the extra point there. There's Richmond, fires it up. He's got to knock it down. It's perfect. 3D plus one.
That's
the place gets fired up. That's that rule in vivid effect there, as Richmond has really sparked the Scorpions. The steal in the bucket, and then that 4-point play on the 3D rule. So shot blocked in the corner as Harris can't get it to go, and Scorpions looking to keep this roll going. Number 54, Lance Fight, is in the game. Played his basketball at Southern Colorado and also Macy University. There's Richmond again, and he's catching fire. 3-point specialist, and he has got some range.
He's got 7 points in about 30 seconds, and that's what we were talking about earlier. You can really turn some points on real quick in this game.
You know, we were watching the teams warm up. You know, he had his Beats headsets on, and he's got the beard and the hair. I didn't know what to expect from this kid, but he really has some game, and he's been a big factor this year for the Scorpions.
Yeah, you know, he got that steal to give him 2 points. He hit the 4-point and the 3-point. He's got 9 points in the time span of about 60 seconds. That's the kind of thing that sparks a team run. That's what starts to energize and change momentum.
And, you know, you talked about it. You could just sense that the Scorpions are really focusing on defense. Getting it past the lane. There's the steal. Big dunk by Lance Fight. This game has turned on a dime. A 12-point lead for the Scorpions. There's Berg inside. Blocked by big John Hollywood Plenty, and that leads to transition basketball.
Oh, there's a nice pass.
Yeah, that's got to be a goaltending, because he interfered with the rim right there.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, all of a sudden the Scorpions really turned this thing around. And again, you have to credit Del Mascreen and his emphasis on defense and how that turns into offensive easy buckets.
Well, it has changed dramatically as the Scorpions have a 14-point lead, 29-15, with 7:49 left to go here before halftime.
sports, talk it out with First Take and His and Hers weekdays on ESPN2.
Look at that guy. What's he got that we don't have?
He's sort of good looking.
I guess.
Could be the accent.
Great tan.
I got some color this weekend.
Think it's the dimples?
I just think he tries too hard.
It's embarrassing. What's he got that we don't have?
I don't know.
Lakers Heat at 8, Blazers Clippers at 10:30, Wednesday on ESPN.
I think G-Man's on vacation, so I think it's going to be interesting.
Dude, what are you doing?
What?
Casual Friday.
Scorpions by 14 on the ABA Game of the Week. Tom Kuiper all about the 3D rule.
Yeah, both teams have taken advantage of it. The Ballaholics got it earlier, and then you're going to see here, coming off of a nice defensive play, coming down and getting a 3, which actually turns into 4. That's the way it's done right there. Take advantage of that extra point opportunity.
Back to live action. Once again, it's the defense helping out the Scorpions. The lob fight can't convert, but Richmond keeps the attack going. You just really sense that the Scorpions just found some energy because they are all over the court on defense right now.
Yeah, they're on a 14-0 run. Just a couple minutes ago, it was all knotted up at 15. Just like that in this kind of a game, with the pace so quick, you can turn points around real quick.
Childs triggers in the bucket by Lance Fife. He's come in and made an impact as well. 31-15, and the experience of the Scorpions really starting to pay off. A nice little zone pressure as well. Nice rotation by number 22, Mark Perrin, as he gets the buckets to go, and that ends a torrid run for the Scorpions. 31-18 with 7 minutes left to go before the half. By the way, you want to stick around at halftime, we'll have a great interview with a former ABA, NBA, and ASU star, Jumpin' Joe Caldwell, as Alex Richmond continues his torrid pace here with another 3.
That was unbelievable. He was almost on his back looking straight up at the lights when he released that. Wow.
And they'll get the offensive blocking foul called on the Ballaholics, and the Scorpions are on fire.
Yeah.
What can you say about the play of Richmond? He has really been a key catalyst during this turnaround for the Scorpions.
Yeah, in the second quarter, in about 3 minutes worth of time, he's really made the difference. I'd look for him to put it up again as soon as he can.
The turnover there,
he
but
turns it over.
you know, not only does he knock down the 3, he's got a nice handle as well. He really controls the ball, and if you watch him on defense next time down, watch him. He is up in his man's grill. He really is the complete player.
Well, you know what he's doing, Brad? He's playing defense because he wants to score on the offensive end. That's the sign of a good offensive player. Those guys that can play tough defensively. Always thinking, if I can get a cheap one here or there, it's 2 more points in the book.
With a timeout called, we'll keep it here as the Scorpions lead the Ballaholics 34-18. Is this playing out now the way you thought it would at the start of this game?
Yeah, exactly. I think the first 5 or 6 minutes of this game was really slow, and I think both teams are trying to fill each other out. Wasn't much ball movement, a lot of turnovers, and all of a sudden things have changed, and you've seen it. All of a sudden, you're looking at a 34-18 explosion by the Scorpions, and all of a sudden, things have really changed. Both teams playing with a little bit more energy now.
One of the other rules that we will get to later in the game, not much of a factor. There's the 6 foul rule, and you can't foul out. Now, if you have 6 fouls and you stay in the game and you commit another personal foul, you get teed up, but you don't foul out.
Yeah, I kind of like that rule.
too.
You don't have to sit on the bench, you can play. And, that's up to the coach, and that's just a strategy, and that's a risk that the coach is going to have to decide. And that'll come to play in the fourth quarter. But I like about that is that you're going to see a lot of subbing offense for defense, a lot more strategy involved with that, because you want to get your scores in on the offensive end. Even if he's got 6 fouls, he's in that technical position.
Oh, look at that. You know what that is? That's the 3D in effect.
So this is that possession. If the Scorpions can come down and score, you'll add 1 point to that shot. And if they can get fouled in the act of shooting, they'll get 1 extra free throw.
One of the many unique rules of the ABA. And we'll get more into the old ABA throughout the broadcast, because there were some incredibly talented people that played in that league. So the 3D light in effect. Nice dish inside. But Zach Andrews can't get it to go, and so the 3D light, it's off for right now. Andrews on the low block, backing his man in. Shot clock down to 2, off the mark, and Vancouver in transition. Foul called as Mark Perrin takes it hard to the rack. He'll go to line to shoot a pair.
And if you're Vancouver, that's what you've got to do. You've got to take the ball more to the rack. They've been relying too much on that perimeter game, hoping they can get a long ball. But, taking it hard to the basket, you either get on the free throw line or you get the Scorpions in the foul trouble.
First free throw rattles in and out. Substitutions for Delmas Green's team as John Plenty comes back in, replacing Richmond, and Zach Andrews out as well, and number 21 Larry Smith returns to the game. That's another thing, getting back to that no foul out rule. These rosters aren't very deep. Vancouver traveled with 9 guys.